Hi everybody, it's Heather and I am here today to lead you through a glute activation sequence. Now for this, you can use a band that is, it could be a light, medium, heavy band, whatever you're comfortable with, or no band. And if you have any sort of myofascial release balls, it could be a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, any sort of, maybe a squishy ball, anything that helps you with sustained compression, grab those. And what we're gonna do today is go through this glute activation sequence that is really important for if you're going into a glute-centered workout, a leg-centered workout. Our glutes are typically very underactive muscles, and so to work to release the hip flexors, to work to get the glutes all activated before you work out, it's gonna maximize your workout. It's gonna give you the best chance that you can have to get as much gains in the glutes as possible. So we'll get started with the balls, and if you don't have them, feel free to just skip this step and fast forward. But this is an important step because in order to fully activate the glutes, we want to make sure that our hip flexors aren't super overactive. So a little bit of sustained compression is going to be important for deactivating the hip flexors a little bit, or inhibiting them. Now the muscle that we're gonna use for sustained compression is called, in short, the pocket muscle. It's called the tensor fasciae latae, the TFL. So if you put your hands where your pockets of your pants will be, that's that muscle. And you're gonna take one of your balls, coming onto your stomach. You can have one leg out to the side, and you're gonna find where that pocket would be. And you're just gonna find the spot, and you might have to move around a little bit to find it. Resting on your right elbow, very secure in your right shoulder. And once you find the TFL, that's one of your hip flexors and internal rotators. You might have to move onto your side a little bit. I want you to stay there. And a lot of times with foam rolling, what you might have heard is that you roll all around and you just keep rolling and rolling and rolling for 90 seconds. And really that's just not the most efficient way to do it. We want to try to find the tender point, and we want to stay there. And you can stay here for up to 2 minutes to get the maximum release in the fascia. But we're not gonna stay for a whole 2 minutes. I just want you to breathe. I just want you to feel the body sinking into the hip flexors. And as time goes on, I'm gonna have you slowly roll onto more of the stomach. So you might have to bring that left knee back a little bit. You might have to support your left forearm down, roll towards the front of the hip, getting into a little bit more of the psoas. It's gonna be the lower part of the psoas that we are inhibiting here. But I also want you to focus on drawing the belly button towards the spine so that you're still creating stability in the core as you're relaxing into this. Now, on top of doing some of this sustained compression, you can do more of this on your own. We are going to use a little bit of active stretching in the front of the body to help activate the glutes. And if at any point this is a lot of pressure and it's a little too painful, then back off of it a little bit, or maybe just slowly work yourself into sustained compression, lowering some of the intensity. All right, roll to your right side to remove the ball, and we're gonna go on to the left side. So again, finding that pocket muscle, bringing one leg forward, the right leg forward to support you here, supporting with your left shoulder. You might have to roll onto your side a little bit to find the muscle, but once you find it, you'll know. It takes a little bit of exploration in your body to get to know the muscles and to get to know the tender points. And sometimes really tight hip flexors can be the culprit of lower back pain. So if you have lower back pain, take some intentional time to open up the hip flexors and do sustained compression there, and that could be one of the reasons why your lower back is tender. And I want you to breathe in and out through your nose. And we're going to start to bring the right leg back a little bit, support with your right forearm, moving onto the front of the hip. Just move straight across to the right to find the lower part of our iliopsoas. Still drawing the belly button back towards the spine because we don't want to be dumping into the low back. We don't want to be dumping into the shoulders either, so keep it nice and secure. Pressing into the elbows. And then you can let a little bit more of your body weight press into the ball if you need to. This isn't the most exciting part of glute activation, but it is very important. All right. Now you can press up, remove the ball, and we're just going to step the right foot forward into a lunge. You want your knee directly on top of your ankle, and make sure that your left knee is underneath your hips. We want to have almost like two 90-degree ankles. Keep your pelvis perpendicular to the floor. The opposite arm of the leg that's in front goes up above your head. And what we're doing, we're not sinking the hips here, but we are pushing the hips forward. So you want to have little pulses forward with this posterior tilted pelvis. So we're going to go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Now from here, you can walk your foot out a little bit farther. Take your left hand down on the inside of the right foot. Right elbow drops down, opens up, a little T-spine rotation, comes back down, straighten your right leg. Bend it, right elbow comes down, right elbow up, right elbow down, and straighten. We'll do 2 more of those. Lunge it forward, open up, close it down, straighten. 1 more. Bring it forward, open up, close it down, and straighten. And we're gonna come back into that lunge position. Bring your left arm overhead. Another just few hip flexor openers here. Keeping your pelvis, the tailbone reaching down towards the ground so that we're not sinking forward, because this is actually going to shorten the hip flexors here. So lengthening here. Good. Take your right leg back. Hopefully not getting caught on your mat. If you do, that's okay, it happens. Left foot forward, left knee on top of your ankle, right knee underneath your hip. Bring your opposite arm above your head, tailbone reaching down towards the ground, zipper up through your lower belly. And just start moving your hips forward, a very, very subtle movement for another 8. Last 5. Last one. Good. Left foot steps out a little farther. Right hand comes down to the inside of the foot. Left elbow touches down. Left elbow reaches back. Left elbow down. And straighten your left leg. Bring it forward, lunge. Open up. Bring it down. And straighten. 2 more. Bring it down. Open. Bring it down and straighten. Last one. Bring it down, open, down, and straighten. Now come back to a lunge. It's a little bit of a more extended lunge, but I want you to keep that posterior tilt. Right arm above your head, and just think about pushing the right hip forward. And relax. Let's bring both legs back. Grab a hold of your resistance band. Now you can do all of this without your resistance band, 100%, especially if you're a little bit newer to working out your glutes. It's a little intense, so if at any point you start with the resistance band and you need to take it off, please do. I'd rather you get full range of motion and full activation versus just destroying your glutes and not getting the full range of motion. So let's take the resistance band right above the knees, lying down onto your back, pressing down, making sure that it's almost that you can touch your heels with your fingertips. Turn your toes slightly out. And you're gonna take your pelvis, see how I have a lower back arch right here, I can slide my hand underneath. You're gonna eliminate that low back arch. That's a posterior pelvic tilt. Pressing into your whole foot, using your legs to kind of press against the band to engage your external rotators. You're gonna start to lift until you are in one straight line, fully extended at the hips, and lower. And you're gonna take 20 of these. 18. I won't count every single one, but making sure there's a little pause at the top. Keeping the back nice and long. We're at 14. 13. It's that constant tension here. You might even be starting to feel the glutes already. We're at 10. Final 8. Try to avoid the knees knocking in towards one another. Last 5. Final 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. You can bring the knees in, roll up. Let's come into a tabletop position. Now this gets progressively harder because of the band. So again, if you need to take off the band at any point, please do. Now in order to do this next one, you're gonna take one side of the band, so the left side, tuck it right underneath your knee. And that's gonna keep you all stable on that right side. Pick up your right knee, keep your leg bent, and keep your foot flexed. We're gonna bring it up for 20. 19. Just until you feel the glutes engaged. 18. Keep stable through your shoulders, and keep on breathing. Stable through the belly. 15. 14, 13, 12. This left leg is stabilizing as well, 11. So it will feel a little bit on the left side. 9. 6. 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. Now, if you are wearing shorts, or especially if you're wearing shorts and you are a male, this can be a little uncomfortable with the band as it pulls your skin. So ideally you are wearing pants or some sort of spandex that protects your skin. If it starts to irritate you, please take the band off. Tuck your right side under your knee. Pick up your left knee. We're gonna go for 20. 19, there's no rush. Still drawing in through the belly. 16. And you'll hopefully have music to go along with this to keep you entertained. 14. If you start to not feel it in the glutes and just in the hamstrings, slow it down a little bit. 11. Just try to feel it in the glutes. Final 9. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Excellent. Now make sure that both sides of your band are above your knees again. And if it bunched up or rolled up, that's normal. It's okay. Coming back to your tabletop position. Now I want to just mention, if you're starting to feel a little tender on the wrists, maybe make fists and hold on there. I wouldn't totally recommend coming down onto your forearms, but it is an option. Picking up your right knee, we're gonna take abductions, meaning we're going out to the side. For 20 with the right. And it's okay not to get very high, because this is very challenging. 16. If you need to remove your strap, please do. 13. Last 10. Stabilizing that left hip. Final 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Now my goal is not to make this your workout, but if this does become your workout, it becomes your workout. Now maybe that's all you need. But this is also, if you are pretty adamant about training, this could be a really good warm-up extended. Left leg comes up. Let's bring it out for 20. 19. 18, keeping it really stable in the center. Stay very steady with the leg. Last 13. Trying to slow the descent. Final 10. If you ever need to take a break, take a break. This is the hardest one. 6, 5, 4, 3, you can do it. 2, 1. Very good. All right, now I want you to take the band off for now, so you will come back to it. Come back to that tabletop. Bring your right leg straight out. Point the toes. Making sure you're not kicking it up. Zipper up through the low belly. And I want you just very subtle lifts for 20. Just trying to feel the glutes engaged as you lift. Let's go for 10. Last 3, 2, 1, and down. Support with that right leg now. Bring the left leg back, point. Keep it in line with the hip. See if you can turn the top of the foot towards the ground. And let's lift for 20. $15. Last 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Great job. We are going to take the strap or take the resistance band and place it at the front of your mat. Come to standing. Bring your feet together, hinging at your hips a little bit. So keeping the back nice and long. Bring the belly button towards the spine. Bring your hands out in front. Right foot is gonna stabilize. Left leg comes back for a lunge. Drop it down. Keep hinging forward a little bit. and step it forward. Keep the right leg bent. We're gonna go back, 9, and forward. 8, and forward. Still keeping that flexion in the hip. 7, and forward. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Stay here, stay here. Put the weight into your left foot now. Shifting the weight over, send your right foot back. Drop it down, step it forward. For 9, 8, 7, staying focused on one point for balance. 6, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Always making sure the knee's not coming in. Bring it forward. Stand it up. Grab your strap. We're gonna start with the resistance band around the ankles. And now you can face whatever direction you want to. I'm just gonna face you. Take your hands onto your hips. Stepping out with maybe your right, if I'm mirroring you. Stepping out to the side and in. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. This can be tough. Feel free to not use the resistance band. Let's go for another 10. Bend in the knees. 2, 1, and let's come back to a normal stance, about hip distance apart. Bring the strap or the resistance band right above the knees. I'm gonna turn this direction. Turn your toes slightly out, using the band to push the knees away. Lower down as deep of a squat as you can, and press it up to standing. We're only doing 10. 9. Get all the way down, squeezing the glutes all the way up. All the way down. Squeezing them all the way up. 7. 6. It's not about reps here. It's about quality. 5. And the last 4. Last 3. 2. And 1. All right, remove your resistance band. Take it out of the ground. And now you are warmed up. Maybe that was your workout. Great, you're done. But if you use that as your warm up, you're all ready to go for your glutes and your legs. Thanks so much for joining. Have a great workout.